times now that we've been sued at the state party. And the unfortunate thing is you got to have a lawyer around every time you get sued. It's just part of the deal. It stinks. It's wrong. We didn't ask for it. I do think the media is now asking the right question. First question is right. Why does the Supreme Court do something they had never done before? Why reach in and err on the side of ballot restriction? You know they had never done it. They had always erred on the side of ballot access. In fact, if you did it wrong, they said, that's bad, bad boy, girl, pay a $100 fine, you're on the ballot. They had never kicked him out of the ballot. 250 people later. Now the Dems lost more than we did. And there was a strategic decision I made months ago. Harpootlian decided not to answer the phone of Democrat county chairs who were going, what do we do? Did I answer the phone? We answered the phone. We answered the phone, sometimes to our detriment because we didn't know what to say at that point. So, right question, why did the Supreme Court step in and do something they've never done before? Second question, why was, y'all know there are two groups that run elections in South Carolina. Y'all may know the name. They're the Election Commission and the Ethics Commission. That's what they do for a living. That's their whole purpose each day, is to make sure elections run right. Second question the media is starting to get right. When they call me, they're asking me the right questions now. Why did the Election Commission and the Ethics Commission give diametrically opposed sets of instructions? Why would the two state agencies entrusted with running this deal give conflicting advice? I don't have a good answer for that either. The best one, though, probably came out of Greenwood County. This is why I asked if the media is here, because part of this, I think they ought to know. In Greenwood County, we got a chairman there. He's a great guy named Buck Griffin. He was brand new. The chairman resigned. He took over, got elected, and he called me in February, way before this mess happened. He said, "Bo, I ain't doing this thing." So what do you mean you ain't doing this thing, Buck? I'm in Newberry County right beside him, and I've been chairman. I said, "It ain't that big a deal. You can do it. We got instructions. We met with the Election Commission. You can do it." I'm not doing it. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm new, and I'm going to let the Election Commission do it. I said, well, you know, I guess you can. He let the County Election Commission do it, right? They received the fine. Now, as y'all will remember from the media reports, the receiving authority was whoever took the paperwork. The County Election Commission in Greenwood County was the receiving authority, literally. Now, they always do it right? And they're apolitical. They don't care who wins. They're just calling balls and strikes, correct? Here's the problem. The lady who took the filing in Greenwood County, her husband got beaten by a Republican challenger. So the next day in the paper, the Greenwood Index Journal, which speaking there, that's what everybody reads. They don't read the State, they don't read the Charleston paper, the Augusta paper, the Greenwood paper. They read the Greenwood Index Journal. She says in the paper the next day, "I think I did them all wrong." Now this actually gave us some cover because people started saying, wow, if the County Election Commission goofed this up, it's not the county party fault, it's not the state party's fault, but it was such a weird deal because Harpootlian didn't even tell his county people what to do. We got actually spent a ton of money. We don't know what our legal bill is, but it's going to be upwards of $250,000 just to defend this deal. Just to defend this deal. We didn't ask for it. It happened to us, but we're left holding it back. I totally believe now, if you think back in the timing, y'all remember when Karl Rove said in like early April or late March, South Carolina's a toss-up state. Anybody remember when he did that? I was in the office. I ran into Matt's office. I said, we're doing a press release. I like Karl Rove and his analysis, but he goofed up. I hit him hard. So hard that his staff called me. Said, hey, well, because I said he's lost his credibility as an analyst. He doesn't know what he's talking about. South Carolina's not going to be just a red state. We're going to have 1,000 people help out in other states. Well, that, you know, y'all ever said something and you said it and you couldn't get it back in your mouth after you said it? It was a little bit boastful. You know, I was being a little bit boastful, but I wanted to hit Rove really hard. And sure enough, the RNC read my quote, and they called me. Rights Priebus called me. I love your idea. That's fantastic. You're going to send 1,000 people to North Carolina? I'm like, oh, man. It is what it is. And so the North Carolina guys were just getting started, and turns out they liked it so much that Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia have duplicated our Palmetto Patriot effort. And they're not only just 1,000 people, they're going to be thousands of people from red states doing something they really hadn't done before, and that's boots on the ground in swing states that matter. Now, the reason I tell you that's this. Right after that is when we got hit with the lawsuits. Right after that. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I got to believe that Harpo knew his best play was keeping us off balance, spending money, and being distracted. Because I got to tell you, we've been distracted. Now, we had to put on a convention, fundraisers, and everything else. The convention was phenomenal. We're all proud of it. It was special. But to tell you how screwy the media is, I followed Adam Putnam, who's a former congressman. He's now the state agriculture commissioner in Florida. We had a breakfast with Marco Rubio and Governor Haley, and so Putnam introduced me. And it was just really a thank you to the sponsors. There was a room full. It was the day the thunderstorm hit, the thunderstorm called Isaac. Now, they already hyped it for all it was worth, and we saw it, man, this is going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible, and the hotel may blow away. Aren't y'all scared? You know, and they wouldn't do anything but talk about Obama's dismal record and his failure, right? And we knew that. So that morning, we had this breakfast, and Putnam said, we want to welcome our friends from South Carolina to Primary Purgatory. So I got up and I said, we're happy to be out here in this beautiful resort, Primary Purgatory, because I tell you what, we can crawl over broken glass, backwards on our bare belly, 1,000 miles to be here to nominate Mitt Romney to be the worst train wreck of a disaster to President Obama this year. And place went, wow, great. The next day I get a visit from the official representative from the resort saying, can you just not call it Purgatory anymore? I said, you missed the part about calling over broken glass backwards on our bare belly 1,000 miles to nominate Mitt Romney. That's the meeting. And I'll tell you that, I'll tell you all that to tell you this. That's what we really fight. That's what we really, really, really fight. There's a filter on the truth. And we got to understand that. We just got to understand that. They're going to do all they can to wedge y'all, to wedge us, to wedge Republican groups, conservative groups, anything they can. What we need to do is have an attitude, we don't really care about all that stuff. What we want to do is win. We're committed to winning. And I made it pretty clear when I set up Victory. I didn't do it like we had in the past. I didn't hire somebody in all 7 congressional districts. Jeff Duncan's opponent is a convicted felon. I think he's going to be all right. Trey Gowdy doesn't really have much of an opponent. Tim Scott, Joe Wilson, they're all going to be okay. Mick Mulvaney, it's kind of nominal opposition. But we got to win the 7th congressional. The union, that's right. The unions are going to pour money in the 7th. This lady is a left-wing union, tree-hugging, environmental wacko like you ain't ever seen. And she is really being pretty smart and shrewd trying to win people over who are folks who would normally vote for our candidate. She's really trying hard. She really does. And we've done oppo research. We're going to be popping mail out. You're going to see really soon. But we need y'all. Because look, I have 3 goals for Victory. Number 1, we're going to win the 7th congressional and put Tom Rice in the United States Congress. That's number 1. Romney, Ryan, and Rice. Romney, Ryan, and Rice. Romney, Ryan, and Rice. The first time in a long time since y'all have your own representative in the United States Congress. It's a big deal. They want this one badly. They're going to play back. They're going to hold back. We're going to see them dump money in here. And the way we beat them is just get our people out to vote. We just play our game. Y'all know how that works in any sporting event, any contest, is you play your game, you execute, you do what you got to do, and it all comes together. Second goal, we're going to add more conservative House and Senate seats over there to help out Alan Clemens and Liston Barfield and Heather Ammons Crawford. And we're going to get that done as well. That's why we're helping out doing things. Eric Fry, y'all got races going on here. I'm heading to Charleston in a little bit. In fact, Mr. John Vaughn Sr., I don't know where he went to. He's here somewhere. He has been, some of y'all, Randall, y'all making calls into 41?
Yes, sir. Paul Thurman called me today and asked me for help.
How many of y'all are making calls into Senate 41 for Paul Thurman or that race down to Senate 41? Anybody else involved in that yet? Y'all just got started? That's a key race because that's one the Democrats could pick up. That was Lieutenant Governor McConnell's seat. And they want that one badly. So goal number 2 is add House and Senate seats. I believe we can go to 80 seats in the House and 30 seats in the state Senate. I believe that's doable. And the third thing is, and I got to tell you this quick story, because I think this matters too. We got to help beat Barack Obama in the swing states. I was with a donor who'd never given a penny to the party. They had given money to candidates. They'd never given to the party. And I was telling them the party can do things along coordination lines, getting the message concise and together that individuals can't do and PACs can't do.